Welcome, yoga friends, yoga family, to another edition of yoga here at the studio with yours truly, Susan, tonight. To be honest, I've been feeling a little bit down lately, a little bit blue, I guess. I'm wearing blue today, kind of funny. But I've been avoiding practicing, I've been avoiding coming down to the studio, I've been coming down, checking on the plants, but I thought maybe leading you in a practice today would not only help you all feel better, but I'm sure by the end of it, I'll end up feeling better. So make yourself comfortable, find whatever props you might have around that are helpful for you for your practice. Be it a blanket, a bolster, an eye pillow, extra clothes to put on at the end, a strap. I've got a block here. I've been trying to give some modifications for everyone. We have a lot of different levels practicing with us at home here at the YouTube channel. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support, your comments, your questions and requests. They're all so very much appreciated. It's always good to feel needed during times like this. So let's get comfy, let's settle in, let's sit together for a moment and just breathe. And try to let that breath come in and out through your nose. Start to relax the muscles of the face, start to relax your jaw, and let any worries or concerns just start to melt from the body. Feeling that tension as it releases from the scalp, down the head, down the neck, shoulders melting a bit further down and away from the ears. And whether it's forced or not, see if you can put the tiniest hint of a smile onto the corners of your mouth. And thank yourself for taking this time today for you. Whenever you're finding your way to this practice, and not only will you benefit from this practice of yoga, but everyone around you will benefit as well. As you're calmer, less reactive, more peaceful. And I think we all could use this right now. So really start to draw out the length of your inhales and the length of your exhales. Deepening that breath as much as you can at this moment in time. And with every exhale, feel yourself grow a little lighter, less burdened by those troublesome thoughts that you may have been holding on to before you came to this practice today. And try to move into that 3-part breath. So we try to breathe into the belly, into the rib cage, right up to those collarbones. As you exhale, emptying from the collarbone area, down through the rib cage, all the way down to the belly. Draw it back towards the spine, and then inhale, fill the belly. Expand the rib cage, fill the upper chest with breath. As you exhale, empty from the top, slowly emptying the lungs right down to the very bottom. See if you can keep that going. And let your breath today be your priority. Everything else is secondary. So it doesn't matter how far you get into a pose. It doesn't matter if you need to completely come out of that posture. As long as you're maintaining this long, deep, full diaphragmatic breath, then you're practicing yoga. Bring your palms together, bring your hands to your heart, and bring to mind what brought you onto your mat today. What do you need from this practice? And take a moment to create an intention, something you're practicing for or towards, something that you're working on personally. And once you've set your own personal intention, you can set an intention for something outside of yourself, for a person, or for something greater than that. And try to honor these two intentions as you practice yoga today. And let's seal in that intention with the chanting of Om. You can join me if you would like. Take a full inhale. And as you feel that sound reverberating around you and within you, start to interlace the fingers and notice which way you go naturally and try to go the opposite way unless you already thought about that and did it. And then press those palms out in front of you as you draw the shoulder blades onto the back. And as you inhale, let your arms float up, stopping before the shoulders lift up towards those ears. Pull that low belly in, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, take a side bend to your right without lifting that left buttock off the ground. Chest is pointing straight ahead. The head is framed by the arms evenly. On the inhale, come back through center, and as you exhale, take that side bend to your left here, chest forward, face forward. Make sure you're still able to breathe deeply, and on your next inhale, come back up, press through those palms. As you exhale, let the arms circle all the way down. Take a deep breath in, lift through the crown. As you exhale, twist your body to the right, reaching behind you with the right hand, reaching across with that left arm for the right knee or the outer leg, and start to turn your chest, your head, and then finally your eyes as far to the right as they'll go. And those right fingers point straight back behind you, allowing you to draw that right shoulder even further back. Take one last inhale, sit even taller. Exhale, twist to your furthest. And now inhale, turn your head forward, and then release the whole body back to center. Inhale, lift through the crown. And let's take it to the other side. Left hand behind you, right hand reaches across for the left leg. Turn the chest and the head, and finally the eyes as far to the left as they'll go. Feel that opening in the left side of the chest. Maintain that breath and take one more inhale, sit tall. Exhale to your furthest, and then inhale, turn the head forward, and exhale, release back to center. Good. Let's make our way to a standing pose. So come all the way up, however you need to get there. Stand comfortably with about 2 of your own fist distance in between your 2 heels, and then drawing the shoulder blades onto the back, turn your palms forward. Close the eyes for a moment. And try to feel all 4 corners of your feet rooting down to the earth below you. And then feel the crown of your head extending and lengthening up towards the ceiling that's above you. Good. As you inhale, let that right arm float all the way up. As you exhale, turn your left palm to face the thigh and lean to that left side. And again, roll that right shoulder back, and maybe you can even look out to the right. Maybe just in front of the arm, by the armpit, maybe by the elbow, maybe even up towards the wrist. Good, let's inhale, come back up, stretch it up, turn the palm out and circle the arm down. And now the left palm turns out and we inhale, lift the arm up. And then take that side bend over to your right. Roll the left side of the chest back. Maybe you can look out to the left in front of the arm. Keep breathing deeply through the nose as you stretch out that left side. Good, on your next inhale, come up, reach through the fingers, turn the palm out, and exhale, circle the arm down. Now let's turn both palms out. Inhale, the arms lift. Separating those hands, shoulder distance, or wider if necessary, because if you bring the arms in and the elbows bend or the shoulders hike up, widen the hands if you need to. Now, lift the heels away from the ground. Look at something that's not going to move on you. And as you focus the eyes, try to balance the weight evenly across all 10 of your toes. Feel those calves working. Inhale, reach even higher. Exhale, lower your heels down. And now inhale, lift the chin and look up. Turn your palms out and swan dive. Leading with the chest, soften the knees. Come all the way down. Inhale, hands on the shins, look forward and lengthen the spine. Take a grip on the back of the legs and pull yourself down into an active forward fold. Let your head hang and let your toes take half of your weight. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. Can you pull yourself even further as you exhale? Now release the grip, bend your knees, and just let your whole body dangle here. Still balancing the weight between the heels and the toes here. Try not to let all the weight drop back into the heels. Listen to the breath. Quiet the mind. Give the head a little shake as though you were saying no. And then a little nod as though saying yes. And then let your head just hang heavy. We're going to bring ourselves into a downward facing dog from here. So plant your hands at the top of your yoga mat and step those feet back. Lifting your hips up towards the ceiling, press your heels down towards the ground. Pushing the floor away from you through both the hands. Keep pressing the armpits towards the ankles and keep lowering your heels towards the floor as best you can. They don't have to touch. And if your heels are more than 4 inches off the ground, try stepping the feet a little closer to the hands. And if that doesn't quite fix the problem, put a bend in the knees so you can really move the weight out of the hands back into those strong legs. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, lower your knees. Bring them right underneath your hips. Shoulders come forward over the wrists. Untuck your toes. Grip with those fingers, and inhale, lift the chin, lift the tail, look up. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding the back, inhaling, tailbone leads, lifting, chin lifts, look up. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, and round it out. One more time, inhale into that cow, and exhale up into your cat stretch. And once you're done the exhale, bring your big toes together, sit your hips back as close to your heels as you can get them, lowering your chest now, lowering your head. And if the head doesn't make it to the floor, use your hands as a support. If it doesn't need them, let your head rest on the ground. Arms can relax in front of you or all the way back alongside you. And just take a moment. Relax the arms, the neck, the shoulders. Reconnect with your breath if you've lost that connection.
Breathing in and breathing out, slow and steady. Let everything else go. Thoughts that try to distract you from the task at hand, set them aside. Sounds coming from around you, let them go. Stay focused, stay present. Even distractions from your own personal space, try to block them out for the next little while. And now reaching your hands forward, pulling yourself back up to your hands and knees, tuck your toes, take it back to that downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And breathe. And elongate the spine. Elongate your breath. Calming, quieting your thoughts. On an inhale, lift your right leg slowly up. Keep that leg as straight as you can. Push out through the heel and spread your toes. Try to level out your hips. So the right toes and kneecap point down to the ground still. Inhale the right leg a little higher, and then lower the right foot back down next to the left. And inhale, let your left leg float up slowly. And breathe here in and out through the nose. Try to relax the head. You don't need to look forward between the hands. One of the gazing points for down dog can be your big toes, it can be your knees, or you can even be looking up slightly towards the navel. Take one more inhale. Exhale, the left leg comes down. Now inhale, rise to the toes, little bend in the knees as you look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Separate the feet hip distance, bend the knees, and take that ragdoll forward bend one more time. Good. As you inhale, hands on the shins, straight arms, flat back, look out in front of you. And as you exhale, melt the chest down, chin, nose, then forehead, draw in. Now press through the feet, lifting through the back of the head. We circle the arms up, look up. Exhale, circle the arms down to the sides, and then bring your hands into your heart. Take an inhale. And a full exhale. Good. Inhale, circle the arms up, look up. Soften the knees, swan dive forward as you exhale. Forehead draws in, and then we look forward, lengthening the spine. Plant both palms, step, walk, or hop back to the top of a push-up, plank pose. So plank can be done from the toes, straight line from shoulders to hips to ankle, or from the knees, and the straight line would just be from the shoulders to the hips. Tuck the tailbone, lift through the low belly. Maintaining that breath, we inhale, look forward, and now hips and shoulders begin to lower towards the ground at the exact same time, and then untuck your toes, lift through the back of the head, look out in front of you. If that causes any discomfort to the neck, look down, keeping your neck in line with the rest of your spine rather than curving it. Push into those palms, inhale, come up just a bit higher. Exhale, lower the chest, lower the forehead, tuck your toes. Inhale, press up to your plank from toes or knees, and press up and back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Heels pressing down, chest pressing back. Try to let that head just hang and be heavy. Inhaling, the right leg comes up. And now take a big step forward with your right foot. Stay on the ball of your left foot, walking your right foot closer to your right hand. How far back can you wiggle that left foot, keeping right knee over right ankle? Look forward. Pull right hip back, left hip forward. Try to keep that left leg as straight as possible. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your left knee and untuck your left toes. With an inhale, circle the arms up. As you look up, pull the shoulders down, sink your hips down towards the ground. Now, how far back can you extend the thumbs, lifting your heart towards the ceiling above you? Try to keep that right knee directly over the right ankle. Take another inhale, reach up, stretch it back. As you exhale, let your hands come back down. Curl the left toes under, straighten your left leg. Now we bring the left hand a bit closer to the right foot, right hip back, left hip forward. As you inhale, take your right arm out and all the way up. Follow the thumb with the eyes. If it hurts the neck, you can just look out to the side or even down towards that right big toe. Keep reaching those right fingers up and away, both shoulders away from the ears. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower the right hand. Let's take a big step forward with the left foot and fold over the legs at the top of your mat. Breathe here. Head is heavy, arms just dangle. Toes taking just as much weight as the heels. Good, let's inhale, look forward, long spine. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank again. Remembering you can modify if you need to. So I oftentimes take the modification because of some issues with my wrists from hairdressing. So listen to your body, listen to what it needs. You're still building strength, just taking a bit less weight into those wrists, a little less work for the arms, for the shoulders. So any of you with issues, injuries, please listen to your body. Now look forward as you inhale. And again, we lower shoulders and hips at the same time. Untuck the toes, lift through the back of the head gently. And again, if it hurts the neck, look down instead. Push into the tops of the feet and hands. Come up just a little higher. Last inhale. Exhale, forehead down, tuck the toes. Inhale back to plank from toes or knees. Hips and shoulders come up at the same time. Lift your hips to the sky. Press back to downward dog. Breathe deeply and breathe slowly. Keep pushing the chest back, keep pressing those heels down. Inhale, lift the left leg up slowly, and a big step forward now with the left foot. Walk that left foot towards the left, wiggle that right foot back as far as you can take it, look forward, breathe, left hip back, right hip forward. Try to keep your right leg as straight as you possibly can. Take another full breath in and exhale, lower the knee, untuck the toes. On your next inhale, circle the arms up, come up into your crescent lunge. Send the thumbs back, lift the heart up. Do your best to not unbend that left leg, so try to keep knee over ankle. Shoulders are still down. The neck is long. Inhale, reach up, stretch it back. Exhale, let the hands come down. Recurl the right toes, straighten the right leg, bring your right hand in just a bit closer. Try to stay on your fingerprints. Now the left arm comes out like a wing. We look at the thumb and inhale, start to lift the left arm up. Keep that right leg as straight as you can. Keep trying to melt both hips down towards the ground. If it's hurting the neck, to look up to the thumb, look out to the left, or down to that left big toe. Take one more inhale, reach up, exhale, lower the arm. Take a big step forward with the right foot, and fold, and breathe, and relax, and let go. The head is heavy and the neck is long. So a lot of us has been spending far too much time probably sitting, maybe reading, maybe watching TV on our phones. We tend to round the back. The chest gets really tight. Let's see if we can stretch the shoulders. So keeping everything as it is, just circle the arms around and behind you. Clasp the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then pulling your shoulders away from the ears, can you straighten the arms a bit more and start to draw the arms away from the back? Try to maintain space between the earlobes and the shoulders. Toes still taking half of the weight. Keep breathing deeply and slowly. Take another inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, relax the arms down. Good. Let's take a big step back with that left foot. Walk those hands around until you're facing the long end of your mat. Pigeon toe your feet at one leg's length apart. Rise to your fingerprints looking out in front of you. Try to let your toes take just as much weight as your heels, and that's going to help bring your hips forward so they're in line with your ankles. Now inhale, lengthen again, and exhale, start to fold, planting the hands, walking them back. Try to maintain a shoulder distance width between those two palms. If you're struggling to get your hands flat, try widening the feet a little more. Maybe try bending the knees a bit. Try to hug your elbows into shoulder distance, using the strength of the arms to imagine that you could almost pull yourself right through those legs. Beautiful. As you inhale, walk the hands forward, come up to the fingerprints, look forward, put a bend in the knees, and let your hands travel to your hips with a straight spine. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. See something in front of you and relax. Good. Let's bring the arms to a T. Heel toe the feet in a little closer. Turn your right toes out and your left toes out and bend your knees over your ankles. So if you find yourself in too short a stance, what you're going to find happens is your knees are going to go past your ankles. If your feet are too wide, those knees will be in a little bit too close. So find that space where your shins are perfectly perpendicular to the ground. And if you're really tight in your hips and your knees kind of cave in, turn your toes in the same direction as your knees to avoid causing any distress there. Arms to a T, palms forward, bent arms at the elbow. Try not to drop the elbows down. Try not to lift them too high. Keep them right at shoulder height. Sit your hips a little deeper if you can. Pull that low belly in, slight tuck to the tailbone. Draw back with those elbows. Focusing here on your long, deep breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten the arms, palms down, hands to the hips. Straighten your legs and point your toes forward. Step back to the top of your yoga mat. Bring your palms together, your hands at your heart. Inhale, circle the arms up, look up. Turn your palms out and swan dive all the way over the legs, and then look forward as you inhale. Plant your hands, step back to plank as you exhale. Modifying is needed. Belly pulled in. Strong across the upper back. Almost think about pressing the space between the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower with control. Inhaling into your cobra again, Bhujangasana. Ankles together, tops of the feet are heavy. We're lifting through the back of the head, sending that chin forward, dragging the heart forward. Good. Take your arms out to a T. Lift your legs. Breathe deeply. If you find it's too much with the legs lifted, set them down. If it's too much with the arms lifted, bring them back beside the chest. Beautiful. One more inhale. Lower the forehead and the feet. Plant the hands beside the chest. Press up to the hands and the knees and take it all the way back into child's pose again, Balasana. Lowering the chest. Forehead maybe coming down to the floor. If it doesn't make it there, support it with your hands and just breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Let go of judging yourself. Let go of negative thoughts. Just be here in the moment. Don't worry about what your body is able to do. Just focus on the breath. Let everything else go. The physical part of the practice is most certainly not the most important part. We're simply using the breath to bring the body and the mind into balance, quieting the mind, doing our best to let go of discomfort. That's all we use the physical practice of yoga to do. Challenge ourselves. Does the mind react? Do you get frustrated? Completely normal. But notice when that frustration happens. Come back. Come back to your breath. Place your hands on either side of your head on the ground. Push into your palms and press yourself up. Bring yourself around to a seated position and extend your legs straight out in front of you. And if you find it helpful, you can have the little lift of a blanket. You can even sit on a block. You can even sit on a cushion. Just make sure that both sitting bones, both buttocks, are elevated to the same height. Draw your right knee into your chest, sitting up nice and tall. Take your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot, and simply pick up your right leg. So you're holding the right knee with the right hand and the right foot with the left hand. Flex both feet and just start to move that leg from side to side. Maintain that breath. Can you get the movement a little bit bigger? Good. Slowly come back to center. Cross your right leg over your left leg, just above the knee. So it's kind of like an upside down backwards number 4. If you're feeling a lot of tension in your left hamstring, bend that left knee a little bit. You can even use a rolled up kind of towel just underneath that knee so that it's not locking. And now press out through both heels, toes pull back. Those of you that are super flexible in the hips can stack the lower legs, but we don't want to do this if it causes the knees to spread out really wide. You're really trying to go ankle over knee and knee over ankle. Shins stacked right on top of each other. So if that's not possible, just straighten the bottom leg. As you lift through the crown, send the arms up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, lean forward over the leg. So how forward can you lean before your back wants to round? Relax your arms down so they can be back beside the hips, up kind of more at knee level. You can even be reaching for the calf or the toe, but don't round your back just to get a further grip. Try to let your heart be the guiding point forward in this pose. And when your chest can't go any further, relax your head, let it hang. Close your eyes. And just breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin, look out in front of you. As you exhale, extend and reach the arms. Inhale, come all the way up, turn your palms out, and just let your arms circle down. So now all you're going to do is take your right foot, flatten the foot to the floor so your heel is beside your left knee or more beside your left calf. So you don't have to bring your foot way in close to the hip. Those of you with a lot of flexibility can bring the bottom leg in underneath you, right beside the right hip. So you don't want to tuck it underneath you so you're sitting on it. Both buttocks are still down on the ground. So either both legs bent, right foot planted, or left leg straight and just the sole of the right foot planted. Now you're going to use your left hand to kind of pull that right knee in. Now inhale, reach your right arm forward and up to the ceiling, turn your palm out, circle that right arm all the way around and behind you. And now start to walk it in towards you. And at the same time, try to line it up with the center of you. So your fingers are going to point back behind you. So that right arm acts like almost a second spine or a brace or support, helping you to sit upright. Let's inhale that left arm up to the sky, and then take that straight left arm, bring it to the outside of that right leg, push the arm into the leg, and start to turn your chest to the right, and now turn your head to the right. Lastly, your eyes move around to the right as far as they'll go. And now close your eyes and breathe and relax and extend upwards through the crown of your head. If your left leg is straight, keep pushing the heel away, toes pull back. One more inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Look forward as you inhale. And return to center as you exhale. Now take both hands around to the left, turning gently, look over that left shoulder, and then come back to center. Send your right leg out. Give those legs a little shake. Good. Both legs extend out, sit up tall, bring your left knee into your chest. Now you're going to take your right hand, reach for your left foot. Holding onto your foot with the right hand and the knee with the left hand, begin to rock that leg back and forth. So try to let the movement really come from deep in that hip. And breathe. Can the movement get a little greater? Slowly come back to center, cross that right leg over the left leg. And again, upside down backwards, number 4, if you need the padding underneath the right knee. If you have that ability, you can go ankle over knee, knee over ankle, both feet flexed here. Find your edge. Hands beside you, lift through the crown, and start to lean the chest forward. So maybe the hands come forward a little bit. Maybe they can come forward a lot if the right leg is straight. Maybe you're reaching for that calf or that foot. Try to send that heart forward and then relax the head, close the eyes, and just breathe. Flex your feet. Spread your toes. Breathe in and out through your nose. Facial muscles relaxed, the jaw relaxed. Good. As you inhale, look forward. Exhale, reach forward. We inhale, come up, and relax the arms down. So if your bottom leg is bent, straighten it out. Place that left foot, heel just beside the knee or beside the calf. Again, if it's within your ability, that bottom leg can be bent back by the left hip, and your left heel is just beside the right knee. So try to get your whole left foot glued to the ground. Use your right hand, pull that knee in. And you'll notice that that helps root that big toe edge of the foot. Inhale, left arm forward and up, turn the palm out, circle the arm all the way around behind you, and now start to walk it in and then line it up with the center of you. Sit tall, inhale, right arm reaches up. Take that straight right arm to the outside of that left leg, using it to help you turn your chest to the left. Now turn your head to the left. Lastly, move your eyes as far to the left as they'll go. And breathe. Try to keep that spine really straight. Try not to hunch the shoulders up around the ears. Keep the sole of that left foot connected. Good. Take another inhale. Sit tall. Exhale. Twist, twist, twist. Inhale. Just look forward. Return to center. Both hands come around to the right. Look over that right shoulder and come back to center. Extend those legs out and give those legs a little shake. Beautiful. So let's take our feet to the top of our yoga mat. Take your arms straight out in front of you. Lengthening through the crown, relax the shoulders down, flex your feet, and start a very slow roll out onto the back. Tailbone, low back, mid back, upper back, arms reach over the head, bring your legs together, point your toes. Take a deep breath in, stretch, 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 and relax the arms down to the sides. Walk your feet towards you. And now plant your heels directly in front of those sitting bones. So you want about 2 of your own fist distance to fit right in between those 2 heels. Take your thighs, make them parallel, flatten the low back, and with the arms as tight to your sides as you can get them, your palms pressing down, press down through the back of the head and inhale, begin to lift your hips up into your bridge. Squeeze your shoulder blades closer together. Maybe you can walk your hands closer together. Maybe you can clasp the hands, really sliding those arms as close to one another as you can get them. Press down through the arms, the feet, press down through the back of the head. If you're clasping your hands and your wrist area is pulling away from the ground, turn your palms down as you separate the hands instead. Push your heart towards your chin. Keep lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Inhale, rise to the toes. Take the arms to a T, and then lower upper back, mid back, low back comes down, heels come down. Keep the arms to a T, palms up. Walk your feet together. And now begin to let your knees fall out to the sides as you let the soles of your feet connect. Tuck your chin and just breathe here in this hip opener. Letting gravity pull those knees down towards the ground. Slowing the breath, slowing the heart rate. Encouraging those thoughts to slow down. Just letting each and every one go as they surface in your mind. On your next inhale, let your knees float back up and the soles of the feet plant. Shift your hips a couple inches to your left. Turn your head to the left. Start to melt your knees over to the right, trying to stack your left leg on top of your right, unless that causes your left shoulder to really pull away from the floor. And then you can always just drop the left foot behind the right foot onto the ground. Now, if the ankles and the knees are stacked and you're feeling as though the body could go a little further, the option is there to pull the knees up closer to that right arm. But again, try not to let your left shoulder pull away from the ground. Close your eyes here. And just breathe into that left lung, so very open and exposed. Relax your face. Soften your jaw. And just use that 3-part breath. Breathe as deeply as you can. Good. On your next inhale, lift the head up. Keeping the feet on the ground, bring the knees up, walk your feet to center, shift your hips to center. Pause for a moment. Take your hips over to the right a couple inches. Turn your head to the right, take a deep breath in, start to melt the legs over to the left, maybe stacking the ankles and knees, maybe dropping the right foot onto the ground behind the left foot. So what we're trying to do here is avoid the right shoulder pulling away from the ground. So if the twist feels really easy still, then perhaps you're flexible enough to draw your knees closer to your left arm. It's not a necessity though. So it's not so important how high up the knees go if your whole upper body starts to turn to the left. Try to keep that head turned all the way to the right, right shoulder resting on your yoga mat, and just breathe. And let go. And let your whole body melt down to the ground. Trying to make every breath just a little deeper than the one before it. Beautiful. On your inhale, let your head and your knees come up. Feet are on the ground. Walk your feet to center. Shift your hips to center. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Reach for the knees with your hands and just rock from side to side. So your knees might be together, the knees might be wide. You might be pulling the knees in really tight or keeping them very loose. What feels good for your back at this moment in time? So we want to do a little bit of an inversion. So whether you're doing legs up, legs and arms up, if you're lucky enough to have a block, you can use the block just underneath kind of the buttock, low back area. It makes it a little easier to get the hips up, a little higher than the shoulders. It allows for a bit more drainage of fluid. Some of you might even have the option of doing shoulder stand. Some of you might choose to come over to the closest wall. And if you can get one of your hips right in close to the wall, you can sort of swing the legs up the wall and just lie on your back. So find the inversion that feels right for you. If you're coming into shoulder stand, the hips pop up off the mat, the legs fall over the face, and the hands come to support the back right at the sacrum. Try to wiggle the elbows in and point the fingers up, and when you're ready, let those legs float all the way up. If you're just doing legs up in the air on your mat or legs and arms up, the option is there to wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes, adding a bit more lymphatic drainage. If you're doing legs up the wall and you have enough room, you can try going legs wide. You can do legs wide in pretty much any of the poses. If you're in shoulder stand, try not to let the legs kind of hips fall over the face. Try to keep your ankles in line with your hips. And just breathe here. The beauty of doing legs open at the wall is that gravity can just really pull those legs down. If you're in shoulder stand and your legs are wide, Inhale, bring the legs together. And then lower your legs slowly over your face, coming into your plow pose. So try to keep your hands supporting your back, unless your toes have made contact with the ground behind the head, and then your palms can come to rest on the ground. If your legs wide still, use your hands maybe to help those legs back together. If you're doing legs and arms up, you can just let them float up. If you're doing legs up the wall, stay there. If you're in plow, you're going to take another deep breath in. Now with either your hands on your low back or your hands on the ground, start to slowly roll out onto your back, one vertebra at a time. Try not to lift your head away from the floor. If you're doing legs up the wall, roll to one side so you can come back to your yoga mat. We'll all meet there, arms at the sides, legs up in the air, palms pressing down to the ground. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to lower both legs down at the exact same time, pushing the heels away. And now take your heels to the edges of your mat. Take the arms out from under you. Assess the body for a moment. Do you need extra clothing? Do you need a blanket? Do you need a bolster under your knees? Especially if you're experiencing any low back discomfort, that bolster or pillow can be very helpful. Get yourself ready for Shavasana now. Corpse pose. Shavasana. So you want the arms and legs to be on the same diagonal lines. Shoulder blades are tucked. Chin is tucked, neck is long. If you have an eye pillow or something to place over the eyes to block out any light from within the space, or if you can turn the lights down or off, do so. Let your body become very heavy. And let your breath become very light. Soft, gentle, letting go of any control you may have been exerting over your body or your breath for the last little bit. Just letting everything return back to a more natural state. Any adjustments that are necessary for your comfort, take this last opportunity to get as comfortable as you can be, and then allow your body to just become completely still. And if that stillness is very challenging today, you're very fidgety, command your body to be still. You can do this. It's just for a tiny little bit of time. Take this time for you in the most important posture of your yoga practice. This is where everything really gets to sink in. All of your work, all of your efforts, all that extra oxygen you've been taking in, the body can now use it as it sees fit. Very easy for your heart to work now. It's not fighting gravity. It's very easy to pump that blood to the feet, to the hands, to the head. Feel all those points of contact that your body is making with your mat or with the floor. And feel a heaviness through all of those points. And at the same time, there's a sense of lightness through the body, weightlessness, almost like you were floating. Picturing the mind like a very large lake, And the water is very blue and very calm. The surface of the lake, like the surface of the mind, is so very still. It's almost like a mirror, reflecting light off of it. And see that lake very clearly now in your mind's eye. And visualize yourself just diving deep into that lake, away from the light at the surface. And the water is very warm and it's comfortable. You can breathe there underwater. The sounds are all blocked out, and as you sink deeper, the light from above begins to grow dim. Sinking deep into the depths of your mind as you sink deep into the depths of that lake. Finding that place of stillness. Total darkness, and surrender there. Allow yourself to take rest. Allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to let go. Beginning to rise from the depths of the mind. You can see that light at the surface. Feel yourself rising up towards that light. Begin to breathe more deeply. Bring your awareness back to your body as it lies there on your mat and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your wrists and your ankles slowly, turning your head side to side. You can move your wrists and ankles in the opposite direction. Roll your head back to center, slide your legs together, point your toes, and reach the arms all the way over the head. Take a long deep breath in, stretch, extend and lengthen, and as you exhale, release the arms down to your sides, and with your eyes still closed, draw your knees to your chest. Reach for them with your hands and just start to rock from side to side. One last massage for your back. And when you're ready, roll over to whatever side appeals to you today, right or left. It doesn't matter. The eyes are closed. You're breathing deeply in and out through your nose. And just take a moment, scan the body on every level, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. how do you feel? Has there been a shift, subtle or otherwise? Take a moment in this place of stillness and be thankful. Thankful for this gift of yoga. First, thankful to yourself for taking this time for you. Thankful for all the teachers that have come before us, allowing us to be here doing this practice. I am thankful for you, those of you that join me. It is truly an honor and a privilege to share these teachings with you. Now, keeping your eyes closed, push into your top hand and your bottom arm and just start to make your way slowly up away from the ground. Eyes remain closed. Take a comfortable cross-legged seated position. If cross-legged is not comfortable, find another posture that is. Ears are over shoulders and shoulders are over hips. Maybe the spine seems a little straighter. The weight on the shoulders a little lighter. Maybe the heaviness around the heart has lifted. Bring your palms together, your hands at your heart, and bring to mind those two intentions you began your practice with today. The intention for yourself and the intention for something greater than yourself. And now we fold forward, hinging from the hips. Your hands can come down as a means of support if necessary as you let your head just hang. Take a moment in this pose of gratitude. Thank you for joining me today. The divine light within me graciously, humbly acknowledges that same divine light within you. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. I hope you're feeling good. I know I'm feeling better. We'll see you next time. If you have any questions, let me know. The channel continues to grow. I think we're at 221 people today, January 17th. So keep it going. Share it with your friends. I love and miss you all.